like your hair?
Yeah.
Awesome. Turn around and smile for the camera. Freedom. How do you feel?
Great.
Hey y'all, welcome back to our channel. So today I'm going to be doing kind of like a walkthrough of what my daughter's installation day was like. And just before I start, I wanted to make this quick point that even though the process of installing her hair and the whole idea of installing her microlocs was a very well thought out and very well researched one, in terms of video footage of what I actually did, I don't have much of that. What I do have is pictures. Looking back now, I realize I was probably sort of overwhelmed at the task I had ahead of me. And when you start watching, you're going to see what the raw material that I was dealing with was. A lot of people ask me how long was her hair. Tell me in the comments how long you think it was, and then I will tell you what it actually was at the end of the day. So what I'm going to do more or less really is a walkthrough of each of the stages, and if it isn't abundantly clear from the picture, I'll be explaining what was happening or what was going on and what my feelings were at the time. So thank you for watching, and let's get right into the video. So this very first clip is just me prepping my daughter's hair for install. It was very important to me to start on well stretched hair, so clean but also very well stretched. It was important that the hair be stretched from root to tip. I've done a couple of videos where I talked about my struggles with my daughter's beautiful, full, abundant head of 4C hair. And this isn't any fake 4C. This is gorgeous, glorious, full-scale 4C. So I remember that I was doing this on a 4-year-old child with a very short attention span. I mean, understandable for her age, and also who at the time looked to be very tender-headed. So it was important that the hair be stretched from root to tip. We couldn't afford to have any tight curls or kinks in the hair, because this had to be as pain-free as ever possible. Okay, so way ahead of time, this must have been the week before I planned to do the install. I put her hair in 8 threaded sections. We call them some gaps in Nigeria. And I tried to make, I did it in such a way that the hair would be as stretched as possible. And then I left them in those threaded sections for a good couple of days, just to increase the stretch that I had going on. Okay, and as you can see, I put the lines, this was me laying the grid lines that I was then going to use to put her microlocs in. Okay, so I was literally laying the foundation as well as getting the hair stretched, preparatory to installing her microlocs. This was the very first stage. So here with this next slide or picture, you can see that we had gotten 1.5 of the triangles or sectors done. So this was me pausing to take sort of a celebratory picture. So I talk a bit more about her grade and what it looks like, and in the next couple of slides coming up, you get to see a better view of what her grade looks like Not the entire thing because I had braided up the sections, but she has 8 sectors or 8 slices, 8 pizza slices. I like to joke that if you could superimpose a pizza on her head, that's what it looks like. Um, and then each of those slices or 8 sections is then divided into two. Okay. Um, but we had gotten done with one and let me see a third. So 1 1/3 sectors, and so that was me taking like a close up of what that looked like. And that was day one. Okay, that was all we were able to achieve on day one. Um, I got a bit faster as time went along, but keep in mind that we weren't working from morning till night every day. Okay, so I don't know why on earth I started this when I did, but this was right before exam week. She had exams, I think, somewhere in the middle of all that. But suffice it to say that this took all of 5 weeks. Like I said, we weren't working from morning till night every day, and we did take lots and lots and lots of breaks. We watched an unimaginable amount of Bluey and Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood. God bless whoever created those two children's programs because they literally saved our lives. But yeah. So this is another still picture of, I think by this time I was 1/4 way done. So of the 8 sectors, I had done, I laugh about it now, but of the 8 sectors I had done, completed 2, and it felt like such a big thing at the time. For those of you who have watched my daughter's log count video, when I say I was 1/4 away. If you know what the number of locks she has total, it gives you an idea of how many locks I had installed at this time. Let me just put it this way. So by saying I was 1/4 done, that is more or just as much as all the locks I have on my own head. Or about the same number that I have on my own head. So it may seem like a small thing looking back now, but at that time it was a major victory and it was worth stopping to celebrate. So in this slide, like I said, life was happening, life was lifing. We didn't finish in 1 day or even 2. What we were aiming for most days was for 2 hours. This was a 4-year-old. She couldn't give me more than 2 hours sitting down. And even that 2 hours was broken up into like intervals of 30 minutes. So every 30 minutes, we'll do a bathroom break, we'll do like 20 jumps, lots of hugs, snack time, water time, whatever it took, to just get through. So we never did 2 hours at a stretch. We would do 30 minutes, take a break, 30 minutes, take a break. And my goal every day was to at least hit 2 hours. Some days we couldn't hit 2 hours. Some days all we could do was 30 minutes. It wasn't a sprint. It was very much a marathon. Okay. And so the picture you see here is of her at her uncle's wedding. My brother-in-law got married and we had to travel. At this time, I was pretty much done. I had completely finished 7 of the 8 sectors, and there was just one sector, I think it was at the back on the right. That was the very last one I did that was left. And if you zoom in, initially, because I put her hair in braids, she traveled wearing braids. And then I took them out on the morning of the wedding, just before this shot. So if you don't zoom in, you might not see clearly which is her loose natural hair and which is the microlocs. But as the day wore on, the difference became very glaring because obviously the loose natural hair started to shrink. And by the time we go back to our hotel, it was so shrunken that the difference was clear. But it's not that clear in this picture because I had literally just taken out her braids before I took this shot. And this was the evening of the day we finally finished. So I'm sure you can tell which one was the very last one that we did when we got back from the wedding. I can't even begin to describe what my emotions were like. Yeah. Happy doesn't even begin to describe it, but we made it, y'all. We made it. So this next clip is the day after I took her braids out, just so you can see the length. So this was the first time I was seeing what the full length of her head looked like with her locks in. And just for comparison's sake, here is a clip of her 2.5 years after this year. So thanks for watching, guys. If you've made it thus far and you're still watching, do leave a nice comment, and of course subscribe, and try and catch up on all our other videos. Until next time, stay blessed. Bye-bye.